The servant who refused to forgive. Long ago, there lived a powerful king who decided it was time to settle the debts owed to him by his servants. One by one, servants were brought before the throne. Then guards dragged in a man who owed the king an enormous amount of money, so much money that he could never repay it even if he worked for the rest of his life. The palace became silent as the king looked at him sternly. The servant trembled in fear, because according to the law, he and his family could be sold to repay the debt. Desperate, the servant suddenly fell to the ground before the king. "Please, my lord," he cried. "Have patience with me, and I will pay everything back." But both the king and everyone in the palace knew it was impossible. The debt was simply too great. For a moment, the king stared at the terrified man lying on the floor. Then something unexpected happened. Instead of punishing him, the king felt compassion. He ordered the servant to stand, and before the entire court, the king completely forgave the debt, not half of it, not part of it, all of it. The servant could hardly believe his ears. Moments earlier, he expected destruction. Now he walked out of the palace free, but before the day ended, the same servant found another servant who owed him a very small amount of money, compared to the debt the king had forgiven. It was almost nothing, yet immediately, anger filled his face. He grabbed the man violently by the neck. "Pay me what you owe," he shouted. The frightened servant fell to his knees and begged, "Please be patient with me, and I will repay you." The words were almost identical to the same mercy the first servant himself had begged for only hours earlier, but his heart remained hard. Instead of forgiving the man, he ordered him thrown into prison until the debt could be paid. Nearby servants watched everything in shock. They could not understand how someone forgiven so greatly could show so little mercy to another person, so they hurried back to the palace and told the king what had happened. The king immediately ordered the unforgiving servant brought back before him. This time, there was no compassion in the king's face. "You wicked servant," the king said angrily. "I forgave all your debt because you begged me. Should you not also have shown mercy to your fellow servant?" The servant stood speechless. The king's disappointment filled the throne room like heavy smoke. Then the king withdrew the mercy he had shown him and handed him over for punishment. And so the servant who received forgiveness but refused to forgive others lost the very mercy he had once been given. For mercy given but never shared can harden the human heart.